Welcome everyone to the L7C podcast. Super Bowl week after this long season that started all the way back in September. We have finally reached the end of the season. There are only two teams left. You know this team, they've been here 3 years in a row, the Kansas City Chiefs. And you know the other team been here two out of the past 3 years, the Philadelphia Eagles. You know, with Super Bowls, big games, you got to have the EVP of the L7C, the NFL expert, Justin Ackendale, breaking it down for us. How you doing, man?
Doing well, man. It was a crazy weekend. None of it NFL related, but I made it here. I definitely made it here.
Justin, man, let's start off. Let's start off with the Eagles. How did the Eagles get to the Super Bowl?
Yes. So, like we all know, 2 years ago in Super Bowl 57, the Eagles and the Chiefs locked it up. And I think it's only fair that you gotta talk about last season when you talk about this Eagles team. I don't think
Hmm.
they're in this spot unless they go through the things that they had to deal with last season. After starting the season out 10-1, the Eagles then go on to lose their next 6 out of 7 games, concluding with a loss in the wild card to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 32-9. Nick
Hmm.
Sirianni entered the season um entered the season on the hot seat. People in Philadelphia were not happy with this man. They didn't in the offseason acquire Saquon Barkley, three-time Pro Bowler, former Offensive Rookie of the Year, and a former first team All Pro. So they had him going into the season. Vibes are good, vibes are great. And then going into week 5 this season, the Eagles are 2-2. And the noise starts back up. Everyone wants Nick Sirianni kicked out, fired, all that. And then the Eagles go on to win the next 12 or 13 games, getting the number 2 seed in the NFC. The Eagles go through the playoffs, being a young Packers team, surviving the elements and a feisty Rams team, and then destroying the Commanders in the NFC Championship game. They Saquon Barkley was on pace to break the single season rushing record held by Eric Dickerson, over 40-year record now. I think it's 41 years old at this point. Now, some out week 18, but it got them all to this point. They survived Jalen Hurts being ineffective. There have been questions about that. People have not liked how he has been playing. AJ Brown has been moody and pouting on the sidelines, reading books and shit on the sideline. People have not liked that. Early questions, especially that first game in Brazil against the Packers, replacing Jason Kelsey at center. They had some fumbling issues in that game. And then defensively, they started rookie corners in the secondary, and didn't know if they were going to be able to hold up all season. And now we are here making it to the Super Bowl again for the Eagles.
Justin, I especially like last year, how you talked about it, like they just ended in a terrible thing. But Jalen Hurts, we know what he is as a player. I mean, if you're looking for someone to throw for 300 yards a game, that's not who he is. But God rest his soul, as the late great Kobe Bryant would say, it's about winning, and he wins. Last 3 seasons, besides Patrick Mahomes, tell me who's been a more successful quarterback winning wise. Two-time NFC champion, been in the Super Bowl 2 out of 3 years, two-time Pro Bowler, one-time All Pro, 121 total touchdowns, second among QBs, 51 rushing touchdowns, most by any player, 42 wins, second among QBs behind probably Patrick. First QB in 33 years to reach a Super Bowl after losing their first Super Bowl. He's a winner, plain and simple. But now that they're back here, people are trying to give him respect, but they were not saying that at the tail end of last year.
No, but I think some of the questions were warranted.
You know,
They were definitely warranted the way that Shea was the winner when they were 1-7 in the last 8 weeks or whatever I said earlier.
Mhm. but they made the right adjustment. I mean, the two coordinators who got them to the Super Bowl, they left.
Yes.
And then the ones who, because Kellen Moore wasn't there that one where they had the collapse. He came this year, or was he there last year?
It's Kellen Moore's first season. He wasn't there last
Yeah,
year.
so he came in, obviously changed. Saquon changed it
And,
all too. I'm
and
just
Fangs
saying the
wasn't
man's,
there.
yeah,
Big Fangio wasn't there either. He was a
yeah.
Dolphin last year.
So you got some competent people who actually know what they're doing, and I'm just like, if okay, I'm just saying right now, man, if you would have those stats on Josh and Lamar, they'd be going crazy. If they've been to the Super Bowl 2 out of 3 years, obviously they haven't because they can't get past Patrick. But the guy's just a winner. Like, sure, you're right. Some of the stuff is warranted, but where I was kind of getting sick of people thinking this man doesn't win it, he's trash. When he's been to more Super Bowls than every other quarterback who is in the league right now, besides Patrick. Put that in perspective.
Yeah,
More
yeah.
Super
I
Bowl
mean,
appearances than Aaron, Stafford, Lamar, Burrow, everyone. There's only one person who's been there. Now, again, we'll talk about who we think. If he wins, then a whole bunch of shit changes.
it definitely changed. He definitely gets that. He'll definitely be up there. We just gotta see how the Eagles do it. We gotta see how
Hmm.
they do it because at this point, through the playoffs, through the later part of last season, it's been a Saquon led team. Jalen Hurts was hurt going into the playoffs. I know he didn't start the last two games. He had concussion. He dealt with injuries as well this season. But at this point right now, it's Saquon Barkley's offense. That is his offense right now. The whole thing goes through him.
He did
And
have a good game in the last game against Washington, which you
I
did
mean,
say that Washington's defense, it was fool's gold. They were booty.
yeah, they were dog shit. They were dog shit ass, but I still think there's still going to be conversation about even if he wins this game, if it's another one of those, he only has to throw the ball 18 times and Saquon Barkley runs for 200 yards type of thing. You're still going to have the same questions you had about Jalen Hurts going into the playoffs.
Sure. And we got to remember too, like obviously there's different apples to oranges, but he outplayed Patrick Mahomes in the last Super Bowl. It was just the one
Yes, he
fumble.
did. Yes, he did. I will 100. I will 100% give him that. He was unbelievable. If the Eagles would have won that game, he would have been Super Bowl MVP. And when I was going through that Super Bowl 57, I'm not sure Patrick Mahomes should have been the MVP. I know he in the win he had 3 touchdowns, but Nick Bolton had eight tackles in the fumble
Hmm.
recovery for a touchdown that game. So
Yeah, and that was the difference. I think that's the thing with Patrick. I think that's the biggest thing with Patrick is that they they don't make the mistakes that the other teams make. Like you got to blow them out. You can't let it be close. I know we've talked about it for years. You have to blow them out.
yeah, and the Chiefs are too well constructed. The coaching is too good for that to happen most nights.
So we'll see with that. But again, oh Justin, how we were wrong with this, man. They are back here again. The Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah,
How do
they
they
have.
keep doing it?
Hey man, they got that guy. They and you know what? This is what supreme talent does when he's in a perfect situation. When he's in a perfect situation, because if I feel like if Patrick Mahomes was on the Eagles, I feel like the success might be the same. If
Mhm.
not, it wouldn't be to this level. I don't think they're in 7 straight AMC championship games on the cups of
Mhm.
winning their fourth Super Bowl, because I think the Chiefs have had more consistent coaching over that time span than the Eagles. But this is what happens when you put a great talent in a good situation. We have questions about Jalen Hurts because we see he's not as talented as some of these other guys, but his situation, the Eagles, you have Devontae Smith, you have AJ Brown, you have the best offensive line in the league. They're able to get it done with Jalen Hurts because of the system in places around him. He doesn't have the same type of talent as some of these other guys. But yeah, the Chiefs are going to their fifth Super Bowl in the Patrick Mahomes era. 2019, they beat the 49ers 31-20 in the Super Bowl, scoring 21 unanswered points in the fourth quarter. In 2020, that's when they lost the Super Bowl to Tom Brady in Tampa Bay. Mahomes threw two picks, was hurt under pressure the entire game. 2022, Super Bowl 57, that's when they beat the Eagles 38-35. Hurts was the star of that game, four total touchdowns and over 350 yards of total offense. And then last year, the Chiefs beat the 49ers 25-22, went to overtime. 49ers took a field goal OT. The Chiefs go down and score their next drive in overtime. And then there's that. And then going into this season, I talked big shit. I was like, the football gods ain't gonna let this happen. Them winning the Super Bowl again, like this does not happen in the NFL. Everything that I know and seen with my own eyes in the NFL, this does not happen. And then these motherfuckers go 9-0 before losing to Buffalo in week 11.
And they
9 and
threw and
0.
they threw away the last game. They should only have one regular season loss.
Yeah. And I put that in the notes, and then they kept winning after that Buffalo loss before giving up week 18, resting their starters. They clinched home field advantage throughout the playoffs. They're AFC number one seed. They took out Houston in the divisional round and Buffalo in the AFC championship game. They're looking to become the only team in NFL history to three-peat at the Super Bowl. This does not happen in this league. This ain't the NBA.
Well, I will say, I mean, it hasn't happened in the NBA in 25 years, so it's been a long time.
It's happened though.
It has happened.
It has happened
It
though.
has happened.
This is unprecedented that we're talking about for this professional league.
Yeah, and shoot, for people, obviously, if you don't know, the last team to three-peat was the Lakers with Kobe and Shaq. There's been no team to do it since. But I mean, the Patriots have had chances, but obviously it's funny because the last time the Patriots could have done it, they lost to the Eagles in the middle of it. They beat the Falcons, lost to the Eagles, beat the Rams.
Oh yeah, yeah, they
Hmm.
were they were on the three. But I was thinking. I always forget about the second, like I always
Iteration?
forget about the second, like back to back that they did.
Hmm.
They never won it back to back. I don't
No,
think they never
uh,
won it back to back. And no, they did win it back to back in the 2000s, but in 2010s it was never back to back.
no. Lost, beat the Eagles. I mean, and shoot, people probably would have thought there's no way because obviously that was Nick Foles' crazy generational run that he had. And then the Rams, I mean, just think of the way the Patriots did it. Falcons are down 28-3, and then the Rams, they only won like 13-3.
Yeah, but the last 3P attempt that we had was the Patriots in '06
Hmm.
when they went 04, went 05. No, wait. No, they went no, they didn't even have a chance. I think the Steelers fucked that
Yeah, the
up.
Steelers fucked it
Yeah,
up
it was the Steelers. They won '03 and '04.
because they
And
did win 2 out of 3 years the first iteration.
no, they won the first one as the big underdogs against the Rams.
Yep.
And then they went back and then they won Super Bowl 38-39. Steelers won 40.
Yes, because I'm looking and oh, this shit looks terrible. Yep, 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 yep. You are right. Dang, I keep. Yep.
And then the 2010s, they won.
Well, no, they had because they beat St. Louis 20-17 in New
Mhm,
Orleans 2002. We always forget about this team winning the Super Bowl. Tampa Bay won in '03. They beat Oakland.
but
And
then
then the
back to back.
Patriots won. Yep, you're right. Back to back. And then the Steelers, then, yep. So they had 2 chances in that almost iteration.
Yeah. And then in the 2010s, I believe it was all the odd years. So it was 14, 16, 18.
Hmm.
So they never went back to back in the 2010s.
Yeah, because they had the shot. They beat Seattle, and then Denver took them out.
Hmm.
And then they beat Atlanta. Philly took them out. Then they beat the Rams. And then Tom Brady left. So technically he won back to back because he beat, no, San Francisco
No,
won. Then Tom
no,
Brady
no.
won.
The Chiefs win
Yep,
after
you're right.
Chiefs
Chiefs won.
win, then we're in the Mahomes era.
Yep. Because Chiefs beat the San Francisco 49ers, then Tampa beat Chiefs, and then we've had the Rams, Chiefs, Chiefs, Chiefs. It's crazy. It is
Yeah,
absolutely
so
bonkers.
unprecedented. We're in uncharted waters in NFL history.
And you know what's going to happen if they win? They're going to ask if they can do four straight, and no one could doubt them anymore. That's the problem.
I'm, I'm gonna say no again, but hey, I'll just be wrong again because four straight is absolutely insane.
Hmm.
That is wild. That's
They
that's unfathomable. Like that's next tier goat shit. Like that is really insane
got the
for
formula,
for Patrick
man.
Mahomes for all of them if they can somehow win this and then go a whole nother season and make it back to the Super Bowl and be shit. If they even make it to the Super Bowl again next year, that'll be impressive. Lose this one, win this one. They back in the Super Bowl again. I will be impressed. That's when I'll start down them. They may get back again next year.
It's this Mahomes. I mean, obviously with Andy Reid, because eventually, because we talked about Tom and stuff, we got to see when people start really leaving. Obviously, when Tyreek left, they've won two Super Bowls without Tyreek, which is absolutely insane. But like, what are you going to do when Travis finally goes, or when Andy Reid goes? Like, but we're still ways away from that.
Yeah, yeah, we'll see. We gotta remember Tom Brady. He went 10 years
Yep,
before winning another Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes has only lost one Super Bowl. He's only lost one,
he's
and
been
that
in the
was the
AFC
Tampa.
Championship game every year since he became a starter. Which man, sometimes again, man, sometimes I just think these quarter. I don't know what these other QBs are doing, man. Because even with Tom's dominance, Peyton, Roethlisberger, the Ravens, they were not letting that shit slide every year.
He's just on a run, man. And if this shit happens again next year, we're going to really be grasping straws. Like, okay, can anyone actually stop this man? Can anyone
Well,
stop him? Can anyone
Lamar,
stop the Chiefs?
Lamar and
Kansas
them
City.
can't. Lamar can. That's over and done with. I've lost complete faith.
I,
I don't think
I,
they'll ever win a Super Bowl unless Patrick gets hurt that year.
then also taking that into like this equation too. Like it's football, like 100% injury risk. Like I ain't gonna just say it and put that shit on the atmosphere, but like I'm baking some of that in there too. Now, like
But they've been
you
able to
you don't
avoid
you don't
it.
stay healthy your entire career.
But somehow they have. The key players have been healthy this whole run.
Yeah, I mean, and Patrick Mahomes
And
gets
that's unheard
dinged,
of.
and Mahomes gets dinged up in Super Bowls all the time, and still finds a way to fish the game out.
Like even Brady had to have seasons where he was out for the whole season. Like we're
Yeah,
not getting any of that with this team. They're avoiding everything.
they are avoiding everything. It's something that we gonna be telling grandkids about when we big old.
Hmm.
When
Yep.
we big old, because I don't think this type of run is something that's gonna be repeated anytime soon after it's over.
No, I know, I know. Justin, man, give us a preview. What's the keys to this game? Like, who are the big players in this? Like, what does teams need to do to win? Like, what's going on with this one?
All right, a little bit more setup to this
Hmm.
game. These teams played last season, like week 11 or so before the Eagles started to
Hmm.
collapse. And the Eagles won that game 21-17. Somehow KC outgained them, had more first downs, converted more third downs, and led in time possession, but they didn't do shit in the second half and gave up 14 points to the Eagles. And that's how they lost. I think this game is going to be low scoring. I know we just saw the Eagles rush for what, 300, I don't know how many yards Russell was like close to like it was at least over 200
Hmm.
and dropped 50 points. And we saw what Kansas City did, scoring the most points they have all season against Buffalo in the championship games. I don't think we're going to see anything like that this game. I think it's going to be low. I think it's going to be low scoring. The Eagles have a nasty defense, playmakers, all three levels. Jalen Carter up front, Zach Braun, who might be the defensive player of the year. The media is telling me, and then you got two stud rookies on the outside. So I think it's going to be a defensive matchup. I don't think it's going to be high flying, high scoring. We know what the Eagles want to do offensively. They want to give Saquon Barkley the ball, run the ball, play to that good defense that they have. We know the Chiefs offensively don't have any explosive players really on the outside. On the
Mhm.
outside, other than they really don't have any. So we know they're going to be trying to matriculate down the field, dink and dunk, move the ball that way. The Kansas City's defense is just as good. They have Steve Spagnuolo at defensive coordinator, who's probably one of the greatest defensive coordinators of all time. He's won Super Bowls in multiple places. He was the architect of in 2007 for the Giants defense when they beat the Patriots. But I
Mhm.
really think this game is going to come down to the fourth quarter. It's going to be close. The Eagles going to probably kick a field goal in the fourth quarter, but like 3 minutes left, and then Kansas City going to go down and just win the game. That's how it's going to go. The Eagles have. I think the Eagles are the better football team. So it's Chiefs 1 point now. The line dropped down to one now. Well, I don't think the Eagles can do it. I don't think they're going to be able to do it.
We have no reason not to pick Kansas
Best
City.
situational football team I've ever seen. Best situational football team when it comes down to it. In the AFC Championship game, Buffalo's drive. Not we're not ain't really driving, but it's fourth down. It's their last possession, and they send that corner blitz that gets home on Josh Allen, and Josh Allen has to throw at Kincaid's feet. Haven't used it all game. Save that all game for that spot in the game. It's little things like that. It's little things in the margins like that I think the Chiefs do better than anyone else, and that's why they'll win this game
All year, all year,
all
every
year
Chiefs
long.
game has come down to the wire, to the tiniest of margins. That Sunday night game where it started, if Isaiah Likely's foot was 1 inch smaller, they would have been going into overtime, and who would have known? It's been the whole year. Doinks from Denver's field goals, everything. Anytime it was close, Kansas City magically escaped. We were just like, are they good enough? Whatever. And here we are again. The Eagles have a better roster. They
Yes, they
have better
do.
offensive weapons. They have a better defense. I Coaching goes to Andy Reid, and quarterback goes to Patrick Mahomes. Some people say those trump the rosters, which I could be inclined to agree, but Saquon, obviously they're going to do whatever it takes to game, but the Eagles have the only player who can really touch the ball and go 60 yards and it's a touchdown.
They have
Anytime
multiple players. They
Saquon
have
touches,
multiple players that can do that.
true,
Devontae Smith can catch one and go. AJ Brown can catch a deep ball.
true. But the fact that they could one simple handoff could go boom, touchdown, change the momentum of the thing. I just, and I already said, like, you have to beat Kansas City. So for you to pick, if someone were to pick the Eagles, you got to pick them winning by over a touchdown. They're not winning a field goal game. They're not. Like, if it's within a field goal, Kansas City's going to win. But, and I'm going to limb. I'm gonna take the Eagles. I am. They got the better roster. Like, that defense is going to give Patrick hell. That defense is crazy.
Hey, I hope so. I bet.
I hope so
And,
too.
and this is what I was trying to like reiterate throughout the playoffs. I'm like like I put this bet in once the playoffs started. Eagles win the Super Bowl. I did one for the AFC, the
Mhm.
Ravens, which obviously did not happen, and the NFC. I knew the Eagles had that shit just honestly based off their defense and roster. Honestly, based off their defense and roster, I knew they were going to get into the spot. I shit just to make me feel right at the beginning of the season. I want the Eagles to win, but when it comes down to it, after watching these playoffs, after watching all season, I think it's going to come down to what I said. It's going to be like every Chiefs game this season. It's going to
Yeah.
come down to the fourth quarter. It's going to be close. It's going to be tight. And it's going to be who makes the least mistakes and who wins the situational spots in the game. It's always the Chiefs.
No, I get it. No, and I That is perfectly logical. It's just I gotta, like you said, with being right, I gotta say with the beginning of the year that like ain't gonna win the Super Bowl. This is the last chance, so I gotta stick with that. And the field they're gonna be complete underdogs. No one's giving them a shot because they're like, hey, we got Patrick Mahomes, y'all don't. We got Andy Reid, y'all don't. Even though we have a better roster, every other position, but I gotta see. I'm gonna take the Eagles. Let's see if we can. If the football gods and them aren't on vacation, the Eagles will win. But
I love it. I love it.
and you'll be right on that end. And then our overarching thing of the whole season, like, hey, they're not going to win three straight, but it's. I don't want them to. My thing. I don't want them to win three straight. I will not be surprised if they win though for the analysis that you gave.
No,
That pretty much.
no. And then I had to head to the Super Bowls Eagles bet by betting Chiefs for more than a half. I had to.
Oh my gosh. I mean, just they've been in five of the past six. Do you know if it wasn't really for the Bengals, they would have been in six straight Super Bowls? No, if it wasn't for the Bengals and the Patriots, they would have been in seven straight.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah. I'm so in the truest because people use this word a lot that it doesn't matter, but this is truly a generational run. Like,
Mhm.
we're not going to see another just like the Kobe Shaq Lakers, honestly, because look, it's been 25 years since that, and we have not seen another three-peat in the NBA. This
Yep,
is truly a generational one-on-one run. We were not going to see this for another 20 years.
yep. And just
Simple as that.
think about what the AFC, man. AFC QB since 2002 to go to the Super Bowl. Rich Gannon, Brady, Roethlisberger, Manning, Flacco, Burrow, Mahomes. That's seven quarterbacks since 2002. You go to the NFC, Jesus.
Well, you don't got to name them all, but we know.
But like, just think of names like Jake, Jake
Jake Delhomme,
Delhomme, Matt
Donovan
Hasselbeck.
McNabb,
Yeah, I mean, okay, if Terrell Owens
Matt
was healthy,
Hasselback.
if Terrell Owens was healthy, the Eagles would have beat the Patriots that year. He was
I,
going crazy on that bum leg.
yeah, I agree. I agree.
It's actually kind of crazy to think the Eagles have gone to that many Super Bowls the past couple of years, past like 20 some years. McNabb, Foles, Hurts twice. Wow. I'm just saying, it's kind of crazy. I
Eagles
know it
were
makes you sick as a Cowboy fan, but
They're well run, bro. That's the only team I actually respect in the division. I really do because they've beaten it into me over the years. Since I've been watching football, the Eagles have been good. Like I know everything before my time, like the Eagles were like laughing stocks, but like since I've been around, since I've been in the game, the Eagles have been like that.
all and no disrespect to Donovan, all Andy needed was Patrick because Andy Reid went to five straight NFC Championship games with the Eagles.
He's been knocking on this. He's been knocking on that door for a minute before he got Mahomes.
No, it's just kind of crazy. The team that I always think could be because the team that Oakley hates them, they can't figure out their own shit with Cincinnati. But
At the end of the day, they are still the Bengals, and they are not
yeah,
they're not the most well-run franchise out there. That that's a good thing for the Chiefs that the only team that has beaten you is the goddamn Bengals because they're the Bengals.
yeah.
They're,
Oh, I had to give a score because I said I was going to give 27-20 because they got to win by a touchdown if the Eagles are going to win. They're not winning a close game.
I got 2017,
Okay.
low scoring.
Oh
Um,
man, Justin, anything else with the league? There's been always the movement with coaches and all that. There's only one head coaching job left, which Kellen Moore is probably going to take.
well, yeah, the Saints won't have a coach.
So and I know we can say that for off season, but I know your team especially did the WTF move of the off season.
Oh, we haven't been on since that happened.
No,
Oh, damn.
we have not since y'all hired.
Dog,
Man.
I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that right now. I did lie. There was lots of there was lots of news and movement per se around different everythings this weekend. And I lied. Some of it did include the NFL. It's not happened yet, but Myles Garrett yesterday
Yeah,
really open letter to Browns fans and team ownership saying that he wants to be traded. He wants to win. He wants to get the hell about that shit storm that's the Cleveland Browns.
the problem with these again, this is going to get studied in like classes and universities for years to come. The ramifications of the Deshaun Watson contract.
They're going to have league seminars on what
Mm-hmm.
never to do again.
Yep.
Deshaun Watson has single handedly fucked up any quarterback
Mm-hmm.
getting a fully guaranteed contract ever again.
Yep.
And the fact that he was the one to get it is honestly insane. But literally, that decision, his performance has caused Myles Garrett to lose faith in you guys as a franchise.
Yep.
Like those decisions directly have influenced Myles Garrett wanting to get out of there.
And how many times throughout the years too, especially we were like the Browns, man, they got one. I had faith in making the playoffs this year. Like they have one of the best rosters in the league. When you look at it, and you're just like, it
It's
just got
crazy.
squandered.
It's crazy. They like once Baker got there, they assembled some talent, got
Hmm.
some talent around Baker. Some of that talent has rolled over through to the Deshaun Watson era in Cleveland,
Hmm.
and him being so bad has just
Hmm.
tanked all their goals, and honestly has made the untenable situation for Myles Garrett in his mind.
Yeah, after the Super Bowl's over, if we get to when we get to April talking draft, I don't know what they're about to do.
Browns got the second pick, right?
Hmm.
I, I think you do what Myles Garrett is telling you to do. You put him onto the open market and see what you can get for him. You can get you. I don't know if he's about to fetch 2 first round picks. He might. Someone might do it. But he said he wants
Well,
to
as
go
we
to.
learned over Saturday, nothing may make sense when it comes to trading people now.
Well, different leagues, so we can't use that as a direct comparison. But they should try to get as much as possible for him. And honestly, they should honor his wishes. As good as he's been for them,
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson ain't about to be playing again this season.
No.
So you already don't have a quarterback. I don't know what you do. I don't know if you trade him, get a first round pick for it, draft that dual card to replace him, or you go draft a quarterback at that pick. I don't know what you do, but I think they're in a similar situation as the New York Giants with Saquon Barkley, even though Myles Garrett is still under contract. I don't think Cleveland is quite frankly in the position to have one of the best defensive linemen in the league when you don't have a quarterback and your offensive line in shambles, and you couldn't protect the quarterbacks that were playing last year. So I think they should, honor Myles Garrett wishes and trade him and get a haul for him. What
Yeah.
he's
Well,
probably the top defensive end in the league. You will get at least a first round pick, bare
anyone
minimum, and maybe some players.
anyone who's ready because he's only when he wants to go to a contender. So those contenders, they feel like anyone should want him. They should feel like they should give up what they need to get. Also with Cooper Cup, he's going to go to a contender too. Like you get those players, that could change your franchise.
It could if I'm a Baltimore, if I'm a
Buffalo.
Buffalo, if I'm a Washington, Houston,
Hmm.
I don't think Houston really don't need it. If Houston can somehow get them, that front will be disgusting. Like
You know who I think?
that wouldn't be fair if
You know who I
Houston
think
got
should
them.
get him? Because if you really want to stop this Chiefs shit,
Denver,
Chargers.
oh
Chargers.
Chargers,
I think the Chargers, even though he has not won shit, obviously I think Justin Herbert's the second best quarterback in the AFC West. The reason the Chiefs keep getting these damn championship games at Cleveland, their home, is because they keep winning the division. And like, if you stop them from winning the division, maybe make them work a bit. But I think the Chargers need to go for it
yeah,
because then you have the elite quarterback and the elite pass rusher.
yeah. We know Khalil Mack getting up there. Joey Bosa, gotta love him, but he ain't never got there healthy. He's
Never
never healthy.
healthy. Never
He's
healthy.
never healthy when you need him. You can put him on the block and get Myles Garrett.
Yep. Yep. So. That's what
Hey,
I'm
but
thinking.
I know you talk so much shit about Herbert, but don't sleep on the Chargers, man.
I don't. I'm not sleeping. They made the.
They building something good out there. They
I'm
building
not
something
sleeping on the
good.
Chargers. I gave them credit because I didn't think they'd make the playoffs in Harbaugh's first year, and they did. Now they fucked it up once they got in there, but
Yeah.
I did not think they were going to be this good this quickly. And I gave them credit because I'm like, this is what a good NFL head coach can do for your team. I just need them to win the division. Then Kansas can finally be on some heels. But okay.
Yeah, that's honestly the first step. We need the Chargers to get their shit together and
Yep.
put some damn resistance to the Chiefs. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, because then shoot, I mean, this also happened real quick. I mean, Pete Carroll's now in that division. You got Carroll, Harbaugh, Sean Payton, and Andy Reid all in the same division.
Well, that's an old head division, but hey,
Yes.
I like the Raiders getting Pete Carroll.
Hmm.
I do. Pete a good coach. Pete has proven over the years, if it's college, if it's the Seahawks, it don't matter.
Yep.
So if they want to get them together, I think it's Pete.
Yep. All right, Justin, you ready to go for some winners and losers?
You know it.
All right. You want to go first with winners? Or you want me to go first? I only have four winners. Actually, three because two are categories are the same.
I'll let you go then.
All right. First winner because I didn't get to say him on our last one, so this is just backtracking. Capital University's men basketball team. They got to be number 7 on the legit Sports Center top 10 for a massive dunk against
Shit, I
rival.
didn't see that shit. That
Yep,
was crazy.
against Otterbein. I didn't get to show them love on our last one because it wasn't forgot to put that in my notes. So showing them back. Staying with basketball, Michaela Blakes. You may not know her. She is a freshman at Vandy. She broke the
Oh,
freshman
she's the
record
one
for
who dropped
most points
50.
scored in a game. 53 points. As a freshman, broke Juju Watkins' freshman record, who when she scored 51 just last year. So these girls are hooping. These girls can hoop. Like and then my other one is a combined one. It is basically the L7C. One, Justin, for having the most recordings last month of January, had 5 of those things. And then Byron and Jacob, because their episode got us to 10,000 listens. But I'm throwing you in there too, because you did a brunt of the work in January. They just finished it off. So those are my winners.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Shout out to the NFL
Yeah.
for
Yeah. And in
being.
college, you were
Oh
almost.
yeah, oh yeah. OSU.
Mhm.
Shout out OSU too, man.
You were just carrying. You were
Need
just
get
there.
my OSU. Need get my Natty merch. But you know me, I gotta wait for that shit to get cheap.
Yeah.
I ain't buying that shit week of. Fuck that.
What winners you got?
God. Winners. Shout out to the Royal Rumble. Shout out to WWE.
Mhm.
We were there.
Yep.
L7C was there.
Yep. Be on the
Put on
lookout
a
for that
great.
review. It's gonna be something.
Yeah, that's being recorded Thursday this
Mhm.
week, I believe.
Yep.
So look out for that next week. Shout out Jay Uso for winning his first Royal Rumble, and then watching Raw yesterday, the real emotion he had with the fans chanting. Honestly, Cleveland went nuts for him. The man was on the verge of tears because of it. Because of it, like that moment, like you would have never thought 15 years ago when Jay Uso popped up in WWE with his brother that
Yeah.
he would be winning Royal Rumbles.
Hmm.
Like winning Royal Rumbles, and honestly, it's great to see. And then shout out to Los Angeles Lakers for acquiring Luka Doncic
Oh.
for
Well,
AD Max Christie, a first round pick. Honestly, unbelievable. We were out after the Royal Rumble when that trade happened, and quite frankly, I didn't believe it. I did not believe it, and yeah, it kind of threw me off my game for the rest of the night. I'm not even going to lie because that is somebody not having my 2025 bingo card. And shout out to the Lakers for acquiring him, a 25-year-old superstar who is about to carry the torch after the LeBron era. So that is a big deal for the Lakers and honestly the NBA because the NBA could not have hoped for a better thing to happen with all the ratings talk, how no one watches this shit. Well, the NBA took over the sports weekend and took over the first couple days of Super Bowl week. So shout outs to the Lakers and the NBA.
You want to just continue on with losers? You want to send it back to me?
I'll I'll let you go first.
Okay, so we're gonna be here for so I'll make these quick until my last one because I'm really gonna tell. First one has been a while since I mentioned this young man, Joel Embiid.
Oh God. Oh my
Jamal,
goodness.
it's been a long time, but we haven't recorded since the preview of the conference championship games. So Joel Embiid on the 29th, right at the end of January, he missed his 400th game. He has now made $125,695 and a hundred no 125,695,189 bucks for his total career while sitting on the bench. Absolutely crazy on that one. Next one, you gave LA, rightfully so, Dallas. Not just because of the trade and any of that, and that's going to be talked about too. The fact that the first game after the trade, they get absolutely annihilated by the Cleveland Cavaliers. Cavs scored 50 on them in a quarter, 91 points in the half. They were up by 41 at halftime and made 16 threes by halftime. Absolutely crazy on that. Because we talked about the Raiders just a little bit right now. Obviously, we're national champs, but Ohio State just losing everyone, like mass exodus almost. It's kind of crazy. But
Oh God.
then also on the side of that, Jim Knowles and the person who became the Jaguars coach, they had hoe behavior because they didn't do it like men, man. They didn't tell them straight to their face, like, hey, I'm leaving. They stopped answering their phones. Jim Knowles didn't even go to the parade. He didn't call anyone back. He was lying to the players like, hey, if you're gonna leave, be a man. That's all I'm asking. Don't be a little hoe and leave like that. Like that's just hoe behavior. ESPN, specifically Cam Newton and Chris Canty and Jay Billis. Chris Canty has whole videos saying that Jalen Hurts is trash. And then since he made the Super Bowl, he tried to say everyone was doubting Jalen Hurts, and he got called out by his own producer saying, "Bro, there's videos on First Take saying you said Hurts is trash." Again, my thing's gonna be a man, admit you were wrong. Cam Newton said that Jalen Hurts would struggle against AFC teams. Jalen Hurts is 14-1 against AFC teams since 2022. Be a man, you were wrong. And then Jay Billis, just because I love, has been a while since I mentioned the SEC. He said the SEC is
Jesus
going to be
Christ, bro.
it's going to be hard winning. The SEC is going to be harder than winning the NCAA tournament, which that's not true. Now, the real one, the ultimate loser for me is the fake news outrage of fake news Captain America fans.
My
So,
God.
Captain America 4 Brave New World is coming out next week. I'm gonna watch it obviously because I gotta watch it for the pod and my own stuff. And then a week after that, you're gonna hear me and Byron review it. So in 2 weeks' time, a lot of people, especially people like Clay Travis and all of that, we're
Oh
twisting
my
it.
God.
We're twisting Anthony Mackie's words about Captain America.
Oh my God. I saw this shit. I saw this shit. Oh my God. It was
Captain
so
America, this is what
frustrating.
Mackie said. Captain America represents a lot of different things. I don't think the term America should be one of those representations. It's a man who keeps his word, who has honor, dignity, integrity. Everyone was just like, Captain America's gonna bomb because Captain America doesn't like America, blah, blah, blah. Fake. So, one, the person who played Captain America before him, Chris Evans, good white man, literally said the same thing. And no one said anything about that. And obviously, he said those same things. And one of the three Captain America movies made $1 billion, all three successful. Also, the real reason I'm really pissed about this and really have to educate you, don't send your fake news outrage at at Anthony Mackie. We really know it is because if you actually knew Captain America, I would send you back to, let me give you Daredevil 233 from the 1964 1998 run. My youngest brother, 98, that's when he was born at the end. Pages, I'll give you the exact pages too. Pages
What what
17.
was the issue number?
233.
Oh, oh, more than
Yes, I was not playing around with this loser. I have source material for you clowns. 233 where Captain America barges into the government. And there, because there's a person wearing the US flag on his face causing havoc in Hell's Kitchen. And
Oh, he
Cap
was
comes
fucking he was fucking shit up, boy.
and Captain America said, "No, I'm not a nationalist. The only thing I'm loyal to is the dream. The dream. He ain't a nationalist. If you want someone like that, that's a U.S. agent. Then I will take you to the Amazing Spider-Man Civil War, where
Oh,
Captain America told this man, "Hey, it don't matter what the press says. Doesn't matter what the politicians or the mob says. Doesn't matter what the whole country decides. If something is wrong, is right." This nation was founded on the principle above all else, the requirement to stand up for what we believe in, no matter the odds or consequences. So when the mobs or the press or the country's telling you to move, you plant your feet like a tree beside the river of truth and you tell the whole world, no, you move. One of his best bars in comic history. And then Captain America, the United States of Captain America, where both Captain Americas, Sam Wilson and Steve Rogers, are in it. He openly admits there's two American dreams. There's two of them, the one that everyone wants to have and the one the rich folk have to keep the poor down. So if you don't even know, don't speak on the man's name if you don't even know the source material. This man, Captain America, if the United States was acting up, he's the first one to throw hands against the United States. Do not get it twisted. Learn your material. I'm just saying. I already know y'all coming at Mackie and all that stuff. Y'all saying, oh, he Falcon, he Black, all that stuff. Captain America called him Captain America in the comics. So I gave you the source material. Check that out. Stop being dumbasses. Stop trying to twist it to your agenda. You ain't about to speak on my people's name. That ain't happening. That ain't happening. No, not no, no. And
and,
if y'all
and
fuck,
Anthony Mackie was also overseas. He wasn't in fucking America when he said that shit. He's
mm-hmm,
trying to sell the movie worldwide. Come on now,
mm-hmm,
big brain. Use your heads.
mm-hmm. I'm just saying. Look, oh, and then Daredevil 233. Frank Miller, get hit.
Yeah,
That's it. That's it.
yeah,
Go ahead, Justin.
yeah. Oh my goodness, bars.
That's
Oh
it.
my god, losers. IWC for
Oh no.
talking shit about Jay Uso winning the Royal Rumble when when these same assholes, these same clowns want to tweet about why doesn't Rusev get pushed? Why doesn't the people who are over get pushed by WWE? And then when WWE does that, you said, "Oh, shit, he just a tag team." It was really. They show clips of WrestleMania against his brother. Shut up, shut up. This
Yeah.
business ain't about pleasing y'all motherfuckers because, quite frankly, you ain't gonna be pleased. So shut up. We're done.
Yeah,
And
I'm
then
gonna keep it quiet on the bad boys because we got the wrestling pod Thursday, so I was keeping all wrestling out.
yeah, I know. I couldn't help that though.
Oh.
God, it pissed me off so much. The University of Kentucky men's basketball team, after having a great win last Tuesday at Tennessee, and then going back home, hosting the Arkansas Razorbacks, and coaching the Razorbacks now is your former coach John Calipari.
Hmm.
Some of the folks in there were booing him, trying to discount what he did for UK basketball because before he got there, Kentucky was on the verge of being irrelevant.
Hmm.
He was on the verge of being irrelevant, and he righted the ship and turned it around. And I know the end was not very good. I was definitely on record saying he needed to be fired after losing to St. Peter, but besides the point, it doesn't take back what he's actually done for them. And they boo him, and then Kentucky proceeds to get their ass beat by Arkansas. And then before we get on, they go down to Old Miss, and at points in the game, they're down by 27. So that team, yeah, they need to figure some shit out. At least learn how to play some goddamn defense. That's one thing they don't do. And then actually that's it for today. I'm gonna save Jordan Carter for a different time when we'll actually write some shit down for Playboy Cardi.
Just
Because
real quick,
fuck,
because I'm still on this comic book. Trump, I'm gonna keep it 100. If your tariffs fuck up with the comics coming out on Wednesday, we're gonna have a problem.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
some of the publications are coming from Canada. We're gonna have a big problem.
I think we're good right now. I think there's like a 30-day freeze on some of that shit.
Yeah.
At least at least domestically, like
You can't
Canada,
be messing
Mexico.
with Detective Comics coming out and Black Canary versus She Would no, 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 don't do that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Especially
Don't do
not
that.
they come out this week. They drop this week.
No, I don't
They,
think
they,
so.
they don't drop. They don't drop till like the end of the month, bro.
Yeah, but don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do it. But with that being said, thank you everyone for listening to L7C podcast. We'll see who wins this Super Bowl. Enjoy it with your friends, family, get some food. Technically it's the second biggest holiday in America outside of Christmas. I'm gonna say it right now. So with that, enjoy it. Get some bets in. L7C signing out. Thank you for listening to this episode of the L7C podcast. Be sure to like, rate, review, and subscribe to the channel. Follow us on all social media platforms, and we'll be talking to you guys soon. Take care.